What's up, Urban Acolyte family? My name is Prince, and I'm an Urban Acolyte, and I just want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to my team. The Egyptian is out at dinner with her family. Samiko is somewhere exploring New Zealand as part of her work in kind of a work vacation type thing. So it's not even Valentine's Day anymore where she is. And Ash, happy Valentine's Day, man. And hope you're enjoying some free time with the wife and the kids. And hopefully there won't be another kid somewhere on the way. But I'll see you in a couple of weeks, bro. So looking forward to training, getting more of this real life Jedi stuff kicked off. And let me ask you guys a question. Do you want me to do like kind of a behind the scenes like vlog on my trip? I'm thinking about doing like vlogging on my other channel, the Acolytes Holocron anyway, where I can talk more about meditation, training, internal kung fu, some of the other stuff that I'm doing. I'm getting back into yoga. And when I say yoga, I don't mean going to some little class where we're doing calisthenics and stretching. I was actually in a program to like become like a full-fledged, no spit yogi, like studying all 7 branches. It's like a 6-year program, and part of your graduation, you have to like fully raise and fully awaken your kundalini. And if you haven't heard me talk about kundalini or anything, really doing yourself a disservice, go check out that other channel. The stuff I talk about there is actually what Urban Acolytes TV, when this channel started, that other channel is what this channel was supposed to be in the beginning. And the couple of Star Wars videos I did caught on, got popular, and now people seem to think the only thing I do is Star Wars. And it's really, from the very beginning, being an Urban Acolyte has always been about how friends of mine always said it's like you're training to become a Jedi in real life. And I just gave that a name, an Urban Acolyte. There's more meaning to that name, but I'll talk about that in a different video. This Star Wars chat is about my thoughts on Kylo Ren's redemption. So I've been seeing that he's going to turn to the light, that he's actually the last Jedi. I don't think so. I disagree. And I have a bunch of passages that I'm going to read, and they're kind of long. So I'm going to read the passages, and then I'm going to give my reflection. I'm going to try not to make this video longer than it was, because this is my second time shooting this. The first time it was 30 minutes long. So let me jump into this because I've already kind of rambled on already. All right, so this is coming from The Force Awakens. I've never had a student with such promise before you, Ren Straighten. It is your teachings that make me strong, Supreme Leader. Snoke demurred. It is far more than that. It is where you are from, what you are made of, the dark side and the light. The finest sculptor cannot fashion a masterpiece from poor materials. He must have something pure, something strong, something unbreakable with which to work. I have you. He paused, reminiscing. Kylo Ren, I watched the Galactic Empire rise and then fall. The gullible prattle on about the triumph of truth and justice, of individualism and free will, as if such things were solid and real, instead of simple subjective judgments. The historians have it all wrong. It was neither poor strategy nor arrogance that brought down the empire. You know too well what did. Ren nodded once. Sentiment. Yes, such a simple thing, such a foolish error of judgment, a momentary lapse in an otherwise exemplary life. Had Lord Vader not succumbed to emotion at the crucial moment, had the father killed the son, the Empire would have prevailed, and there would be no threat of Skywalker's return today. I am immune to the light, Ren assured him confidently. By the grace of your training, I will not be seduced. Your self-belief is commendable, Kylo Ren, but do not let it blind you. No one knows the limits of his own power until it has been tested to the utmost, as yours has not been. That day may yet come. There's been an awakening in the Force. Have you felt it? Ren nodded. Yes. The elements align, Kylo Ren. You alone are caught in the winds of the storm. Your bond is not just to Vader, but to Skywalker himself. Leia. There is no need for concern. Despite the Supreme Leader's cautioning, Ren's assurance remained unbounded. Together we will destroy the Resistance and the Last Jedi. Perhaps, Snoke conceded, it has come to our notice that the droid we seek is aboard the Millennium Falcon, once again in the hands of your father, Han Solo. Even you, Master of the Knights of Ren, have never faced such a test. Ren considered his reply carefully. It does not matter. He means nothing to me. My allegiance is with you. No one will stand in our way. Snoke nodded. We shall see. We shall see. Now, I want to briefly talk about the awakening in the Force, right? So this is coming from the visual guide, the Force Awakens Visual Guide, and it says, since the disappearance of Luke Skywalker and the shattering of his fledgling Jedi following, the cosmic force has lain dormant, seemingly quieted to those able to sense its presence. The adventures of Rey and Finn on Jakku coincide with a turbulence in the cosmic force, a sudden ripple indicating the awakening of newfound ability. With the Jedi and their records vanished, few, other than Kylo Ren and his mysterious master, are able to appreciate this occurrence. And I'm going to go ahead, and I've read this in several videos, but it bears repeating. This comes from the epilogue of the junior novelization of The Force Awakens. Once there was great knowledge of the Force, an energy field created by all living things that bound the galaxy together. The Force was what gave the Jedi their power. It had allowed them to accomplish great physical and mental feats and to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Yet when the Jedi were hunted down and destroyed, knowledge of the Force seemed to die with them. For many years afterward, individuals sensitive to the Force possessed neither the instruction nor the insight to properly call on it. Its true power remained dormant in their lives, a potential never tapped. Eventually, scarce evidence of its presence led few to believe that the Force had ever existed at all. So the point is that the cosmic force has gone dormant, right? It's like the Force is asleep, and something happens that causes a tremor in the Force. The Force has awakened, and I liken this to the Avatar Korra series. Think about it now. Actually, we're going to go all the way back to the last Airbender. He's the last Airbender, sort of like we have the last Jedi, right? And Aang, the last Airbender, just happens to also have been the Avatar, right? All of the Airbender tribe is gone. All of the Airbenders have been wiped out. Like the Jedi, all of them have been wiped out. And when Luke tried to restore the order, Ben Solo turned to the dark side and wiped out all of his students, leaving Luke remaining. We don't know how long the cosmic force has been asleep. Maybe it had been asleep going all the way back to the Jedi Purge, when you had children of the Force being born, like we saw in the Ahsoka Tano novel with Hedala Farty or Fartis. And what did Ahsoka say? In time, she will stop using these gifts. She'll forget all about it, and she'll go on and be a normal person with no one there to teach her how to use the Force, right? They're introducing what's said here by rebuilding the canon and showing there were people during the dark times who after Order 66 who had been born children of the Force, but there are no Jedi to teach them, no one out there to teach them how to use the Force. But possibly you may have this other faction of Force users, whatever faction Supreme Leader Snoke belongs to, who may have been taking on students. That we're going to have to wait probably until episode 8 to find out, unless some other novels come out to fill in the gaps, or, we could find out in a week's time when Aftermath comes out on February 21st, right? But my point is, I mentioned the Avatar series because there were no airbenders, and then you had this thing harmonic convergence, right? The spirit world and the physical world, right? They have kind of overlapped each other, and the portal has been opened. And what happens? All of a sudden, you start to see airbenders emerge. People who had, I'm going to say, the potential to be an airbender. Now, all of a sudden, they have bending, right? They are airbenders, and the airbender tribe is rebuilding itself because you have these airbenders popping up all over the world, right? Same thing that's happening in Star Wars. You have these children of the Force, and the Force is their Force abilities have been dormant, right? Their connection to the Force, and they've had no one to teach them. And over time, people forgot all about the Force other than these children, this Church of the Force people who were scattered out there, you know, living as hermits and pilgrims and hiding on remote planets like Jakku. Even if some were still on Jeddah, and there are other temples and monasteries around Jeddah. Jeddah City is just the city, right? It's the urban area where they could all come together. It was the location of the Temple of the Khyber. But there are other monasteries around Jeddah that weren't destroyed. And that's something that needs to be remembered and stressed, because we could totally see a return to Jeddah. Somebody, Velvetican, she sent me a thing on Instagram this morning. Shout out to you. I did read it, and I will be commenting in video. I'm not going to reply on Instagram because I like what you had to say, so I'm going to do a video response. But she thinks that Rey's vision, some of it occurred on Jeddah. Right. But anyway, let's jump back. So my point is that on Avatar, you had no airbenders, and then harmonic convergence. Now you have airbenders. You have airbending again. The Force is gone dormant. There are children of the Force Awakens. And now those children of the Force, who had no idea that the Force was real, didn't know how to contact or tap into the Force. Now they're beginning to do Force stuff, and we're seeing it with Rey. We could see it with other characters. Some people believe that Poe and Finn are both children of the Force. Poe, through his exposure to the Force trees, the one that his parents kept, and he apparently grew up near it on Yavin. And then Finn, that could account for why he was such an exceptional stormtrooper in training, and why he's going to be a badass in episode 8. And I have a video coming on that, like the 3 leaked missions that Finn is going to go on, or his path in episode 8. I'm going to do another video on that. But anyway, let's get back to Kylo Ren, because I'm already like 15 minutes in. Okay, so who is Kylo Ren? And I'm not going to take credit for this. I took all of the statements from the visual guide regarding who Kylo Ren is, and I just made them one document. So let me read that to you. Who is Kylo Ren? Kylo Ren studied Jedi skills as well as arcane dark side lore, and he is the embodiment of conflict, drawing upon contradictory teachings and deriving power from discord. Ren has taken pains to bury his past, though he uses the unpleasant emotions that stir within him when reflecting upon his youth to fuel his anger and dark power. Through his veins courses the bloodline of the most powerful Jedi and Sith, and Ren sees it as his birthright to rule the weaker beings in the galaxy. As his power rises, it eclipses his past life, leaving the young man further isolated. Kylo Ren aspires to build immunity to the light side, to succeed where Darth Vader and his sentimentality once failed. Kylo Ren betrayed the other Jedi students studying under Luke Skywalker, and he is responsible for their destruction. He earned the nickname Jedi Killer, whispered in the First Order ranks, as it was his deadly lightsaber skills that prevented the return of the Jedi Order. To ensure that the First Order remains unchallenged, Kylo Ren has been tasked with hunting down any remnants of the Jedi. He exists outside the formal command structure of the First Order and has a direct link to the shadowy Supreme Leader who is ultimately in charge of these forces of darkness. It is with palpable tension that the upper command of the First Order contends with Kylo Ren, as his agenda always trumps military objectives. In this way, Kylo's placement within the hierarchy resembles that of Darth Vader in the old Galactic Empire. This is completely by design. Kylo Ren is no Jedi, nor is he a Sith. He is the archetype of a new generation of dark side users that have emerged to fill the void left by the Sith's demise. Supreme Leader Snoke believes Kylo Ren to be the ideal embodiment of the Force, a focal point of both light and dark side ability. As Master of the Knights of Ren, Kylo Ren represents the mystical side of the First Order, something we hope to learn more about in Episode 8. Now, if you haven't checked out the conversation that I had over on Geekdom 101's channel, shout out to my ninja for hitting 200,000 subscribers a few days on Sunday. Go and check out that video where we talked about Kylo Ren's state of mind in The Force Awakens. And I'm going to repeat what I said in that video. I said that I think, and I've actually said this in videos here too, for those of you longtime subscribers who remember the stuff I'm kicking out about Kylo Ren, because I feel like I'm pretty on point with what I've said, things that actually have come from me. But Supreme Leader Snoke wants Kylo Ren to be a focal point of dark side and light side ability. He wants him to have an immunity to the light side, meaning he's not gonna give in to his sentimental feelings, but he wants him to be of the dark and of the light. Kylo Ren seems to be focused completely dark side. Show me the dark, grandfather, show me the darkness. Show me the darkness and I'll let nothing stand in our way. Dude, nothing stand in your way of doing what? He feels that it's his birthright to rule over weaker beings in the galaxy. And he's not a Jedi, he's not a Sith. He is the master of the Knights of Ren, and we don't know what the Knights of Ren are, who they are, what they represent. We don't know what Snoke represents. Snoke is strong with the dark side of the Force. He's not a Sith. He's not some old Sith master, some old Sith Lord that never died, that is immortal or achieved physical immortality. None of that. Snoke is new, and he's most likely from some new faction, or he could be from an old faction that we just don't know about. Like, how many of you know who the Ordu Aspectu are that Dr. Aphra's father is looking for in the Dr. Aphra comic book, right? And Luke Skywalker may know something about them, and we might find out in that 5-series crossover that's going to happen between Dr. Aphra and the Star Wars comic book series, right? So look forward to that. I think the crossover is going to start in March or April, right? So we got that to look forward to. And hopefully we learn more about this new order of Force users and what the Jedi possibly did to them. Like, think about if there was this other faction of Force users who were of the dark and of the light, but they were seeking immortality. And it sounds like their path to achieving immortality meant they had to sacrifice Jedi Padawan. So we're going to say people who had training in the light side of the Force. This is what I'm guessing from what we've seen in the panels so far. We still don't know their story. If the Jedi wiped them out, supposedly, and they've been underground, they've been dormant because they're a lot like the Sith. But if they are interested in the light and the dark, then then the Sith would want to wipe them out too, right? Because, they're a threat. Right, they're a threat. The Bane Order of Sith believe that the dark side is limited, right? There are limits to the power of the dark side, and so it must be contained to two, a master and an apprentice, one to wield the power, another to crave the power, right? And when the apprentice rises up to kill the master, they become stronger. They take on an apprentice and they keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger until, it results in Palpatine, who is arguably the most powerful Force wielder in the galaxy at the height of the Empire, right? And I said arguably. So My point is that we could have another faction of Force wielders that we don't know anything about, and Kylo Ren could be inducted into that, but his frame of mind is more like a Sith. The strong rule the weak. He idolizes his grandfather, who was a Sith. And when we start talking about, well, are the Knights of Ren, are they going to go to Vader's castle, and their base is Vader's castle? Mustafar has connections to the dark side of the Force, right? Palpatine was doing stuff on Mustafar in the Clone Wars. Vader's castle, that location, has some kind of connection to the dark side. That's in the visual guide for Rogue One. Yeah, Rogue One. Just a hunch. I think that maybe there may have been some kind of Sith temple, a Sith shrine on Mustafar, which would mean Mustafar not only has connections to the dark side of the Force, but to the Sith. And in the videos where I say that I think Kylo Ren could bring the Sith back, that's all based on him becoming stronger in the dark side through Snoke's teaching, through Snoke's training that he'll get in episode 8. But I think he goes a step further. I'm going further. I want to know more, because the dark side, the dark side of the Force is like a black hole. It sucks up more. It's like fire, right? And it's appropriate that I talked about Mustafar, right? It's like fire. Fire burns everything. It'll burn your enemies, but eventually it'll turn on you and burn you, right? The dark side, you could equate it to, even though we usually say the dark is yin chi, yang chi, because yang chi is, if you understand like chi theory, talk about yang chi is fire, right? If you have too much yang, it burns everything up, and eventually it makes you age, and eventually you die, right? They say that everything, on the earth has yin chi, but everything living has yang. When the yang is extinguished, it's just yin and it's dead, right? Spirits have yin chi, and people who attract ghosts, the ghosts are attracted to their yang chi, right? So if you've never trained, then you don't have to worry about any of that, because they're not going to be interested in you anyway. That's a little bit off tangent, but I'm trying to show the connection between the dark side of the Force and this hunger, right? And how it burns you out. That's why you have dark side degradation, right? Is all of the power of the dark side of the Force takes physical tolls on your body. We haven't seen that in Kylo Ren yet. We have seen it in Snoke, right? So how strong in the dark side is he to look as bad as he does, but how powerful is he really? Will that happen to Kylo Ren? And is it because Kylo Ren is of the dark and the light that he doesn't look like that? Or that he's just not strong enough in the dark side of the Force for it to begin to take that physical toll on him, right? We'll have to wait and see in episode 8. But I was talking about, this whole thing is supposed to be about Kylo Ren redeeming him, being redeemed and turning to the light. When you think about everything that's said here, it really looks like Kylo Ren is focused on becoming stronger in the dark side of the Force, stronger and stronger. And the only way that he can have any kind of redemption, he has to hit the rock bottom, right? There's one theologian, I want to say it was Saint Anselm, who defined hell as the lowest point, the farthest point from the light, from God, that you can reach. You hit the bottom, you cannot sink any lower, and the only way to go is up. That is how, I think it was Saint Anselm that said that. That's how he defined hell. So Kylo Ren literally has to go to hell in order to have any kind of redemption, right? That was the case for Anakin. You're going to kill your son. If you don't kill your son, he's going to kill you and become what you are. And when he decides, no, I'm a Jedi like my father, throws his lightsaber to the side. Now, look, Anakin, you're getting ready to watch your son get the shit shocked out of him, get shocked to death by Palpatine, by your master, the person who twisted and corrupted you so that you lost everything. You lost the one thing that you did all of this for. You lost your wife. You lost your family. You lost years. You took the biggest L of all, right? And he couldn't hit a point any lower. And the only thing that he could do was rise, was turn, was be redeemed, right? Right. At first it's too late for me, son. But now he's risking everything to throw Palpatine into a reactor shaft, even though it's going to destroy his life support system and kill him. He's willing to sacrifice everything to not make that same mistake. That was the lowest point. That is the only way that Kylo Ren can be redeemed, right? It's not, I don't see, well, Kylo Ren's going to turn to the light and Rey is going to fall to the dark. That's not part of the hero's journey, right? The hero, they have a descent into hell, a descent into the abyss. For Rey, that descent into the abyss was her being captured by Kylo Ren, taken to Starkiller Base. She literally went into the bowels of hell and emerged. She could have there could be a cycle. She could have another descent. I need to go this way. She could have another descent into hell, but I don't see that descent being she turns to the dark side, right? Rey has a bigger meaning to the Force, and maybe, you know what? She could have a fall. In order for her to know all of the sides of the Force. But like I said, when I say I don't think Rey is going to fall to the dark side, it's based on the reasons that I've heard so far. I've never heard anyone say, well, Colin Trevorrow says that Rey is going to have a bigger meaning to the Force, to the galaxy as a whole. And so she's going to fall to the dark side so that she can know the light and the dark. Now, if anyone else on YouTube has said that, let me know in the comments and I will totally give them props on Twitter or anywhere else. Cause I'll admit, I don't really watch a lot. I don't have time to watch other Star Wars channels. I don't have time to watch much of anything between running this channel, doing actual Urban Acolyte training and working full time and, packing up my studio. Cause I'm going to move into my other house down the street and, probably sell this house. I don't have much time for anything. Oh yeah. Shout outs to y'all that like said I live in my mother's basement or whatever. I got 2 houses and my mom lives in Atlanta. She doesn't even have a basement. But anyway, those are my thoughts on that. As far as Kylo Ren being the last Jedi, no, I got 2 passages and then I'm going to go on that because this is still going to end up 30 minutes long. Okay, so it says, Lord Santeca shrugged, an old man shrug, slow and full of meaning. I've traveled too far and seen too much to ignore the collective anguish that threatens to drown the galaxy in a flood of dark despair. Something must be done, whatever the cost, whatever the danger. Without the Jedi, there can be no balance in the Force, and all will be given over to the dark side. Later, a conversation with Snoke. The droid will soon be in the hands of the Resistance, Snoke declaimed, his voice deep, soothing, and very much that of someone in complete control. Giving the enemy the means to locate Skywalker and bring to their cause a most powerful ally. If Skywalker returns, the new Jedi will rise. Right? So all of this, the Resistance ability to continue to hold off the First Order is contingent on Luke Skywalker returning and boosting their morale. What's going on with the Force? The only way there can be balance is a return of the Jedi Order. In order for that to happen, the last Jedi must be found. In order for the First Order to completely squash out the Resistance and and give the galaxy no hope for defeating them, they must find the last Jedi and kill him, right? Snoke at one point is like, forget the map. Wherever Luke Skywalker is, if no one can locate him, he can stay a hermit and he'll never return. The Jedi will never return. Everything is contingent on the last Jedi, and that is Luke Skywalker. So is Snoke the last Jedi? Hey, you can make a video. It can get 1 million views. It's still wrong. Is Kylo Ren the last Jedi? You can make a YouTube video. It could get 1 million views. You'll still be wrong. Hey, you guys get a big payday. I like getting money too for my work on YouTube, but I would rather present stuff that makes sense and is more likely to be right than to have, oh, this dude's got a popular video that says this, and all of these blogs that aren't reputable pick it up and because they have no talent and they're relying on YouTubers to come up with their material. Hey, that's great. You can get famous. You'll be famous for being wrong. You know, like I've said all along, urban acolytes can exist without Star Wars. There is more to this than just what I do here on YouTube. And so, thinking deeply about Star Wars translates to being able to think deep about other things, being able to think deep about real world conflicts. And I don't mean politics. I mean the stuff going on in your life. You know, this could be a good video from my other channel, but there's some drama going on my job. The Egyptian and I have been talking about it. And because I see both sides of the situation, it's really funny. And being able to step back, being able to be here, being able to be mindful and present and here, right, gives me the ability to say, okay, I see where they're wrong. I see where they're wrong. I see what this problem is. And I'm just going to sit back and watch things unfold. And if people try to pull me into it, I'm going to be cognizant of what's going on. Right. So that's where training to be a real life Jedi, or what a Jedi do. They settle conflicts. That's what the goal is, right? I'm talking about Star Wars. We're having a good time. Kylo Ren, is he going to turn to the dark side, y'all? I don't think, is he going to stay on the dark side? Is he going to be redeemed? I don't think he is. And I might drop a couple of cuss words because I'm getting into what I'm saying. Sometimes I might be a little bit agitated because I feel like people are putting out crap and I'll say it. And y'all just have to go. But the point is, there is more to this than just what you see on video, right? This stuff that I talk about, the meditation, the breathing, the kung fu, has saved my life. I've had people reach out, Prince, and dude, I'm working. That's one of the reasons I'm freaking coming out of pocket to go work on the real life Jedi videos, because of your letter, because of other people's letters. This dude said his kid died. She was only a few weeks old, and he's been watching the real life Jedi videos and wants to know about Tai Chi. And I thought long and hard, and I said, I can't just I gotta show you, cause I gotta show, I can't just write and type. I have to show. So I want to show you my reply, right? Somebody else, Prince, this real life Jedi videos help me stay sober. That's what the fuck I'm here for, right? If you're 7-year-old, you watch the videos and you don't like cause I say stuff, I keep it real, man. Like this house that I'm in, I own this house, but this used to be a halfway house that my family used to run. I don't want to say who, but there's a very famous country music singer. He wore a lot of black. His son was here in recovery, right? You never know the stuff I talk about. You never know who I might be kicking game to help them get through life, right? Because I'm a minister, right? Now I might drop some words because I'm also a military veteran. And sometimes that's the kind of language that has to get used out there, right? If you're too sensitive to hear that kind of stuff, it might not be for you. Or maybe you say, this message is not for me, Prince. I'm going to holler at you when you give another message, right? But that's something, it just needed to be said. I know this video is really long now, but this is a podcast. It's a video podcast, right? So, Prince, your videos are too long. Well, you know what? Put it on pause, get YouTube Red and pause it and come back and watch it later, right? Actually, don't get YouTube Red because We don't make a lot of money off of YouTube Red, I don't think, but you won't get any commercials if Maker Studios drops like 3 commercials or 5 ads or something, in the video. But anyway, I've talked on long enough. I would love to have like really long podcast videos and actually strip the audio and make it a podcast where you can get it on iTunes or Stitcher or somewhere. But the problem is when I do these videos, then I got to go sit down and edit them. And this is already long enough. So I'll probably be editing all night and not get much training in. You know what? I'm going to go train now. And then I'll edit, and if I fall asleep, well, oh well, I guess I'll get this video up tomorrow. So let me know your thoughts on Kylo Ren's redemption. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You know what? If you guys disagree with me, just be respectful about it. Don't come out, Prince, you're a fucking dumbass, you're wrong, and this is why. Because, well, one, as soon as I see that, I'm not going to read the comment. I'll just be honest. That's like saying, Prince, I'm going to kick you in the balls. Stand still so I can kick you in the balls. Hell no, player. Who you think I am? So if you think Kylo Ren will have a redemption in this saga, I've never said I don't think he'll have a redemption. Like I said, I think he's got to hit rock bottom, his lowest point. And I don't think that we're going to see him hit his lowest point here. I could be wrong. That could happen. And if it does, well, y'all know me. I'm going to say, you know what, guys? I was still right. He hit his lowest point. It just happened sooner than I thought it would. But seriously, I think that there's more that he can do. There's more that they can get out of this character. Because Kylo Ren is, once he gets over the tantrums and stuff, he's pretty cool, man. Like, I mean, I've got like, I don't even buy toys. I'm going to get a Chirrut Imwe. Oh yeah, Chirrut and Baze Malbus, the Black Series figures are coming out sometime this month. They might already be out. I don't really follow toys, but I know that they were coming out in the month of February. I'm going to get a Chirrut Imwe Black Series figure, but I got like 4 Kylo Ren like action figures. I got like the where he removed the helmet, that one. I've got the 3.75 inch, like the G.I. Joe size figure. I've got, the Disney Infinity figure. Maybe I only have 3. I thought I had 4. I don't know. Then, of course, you know, I got Kylo Ren robes. I got a Kylo Ren helmet. I don't have a crossguard lightsaber yet. I might get one because I'm thinking about doing, like these videos on lightsaber forms and not talk about them, like actually do them. But that might take a year or 2 because I've got to learn all the forms and I got to do a lot of like physical training to be able to pull off all the stuff and then figure out how I'm going to get it filmed. I may need a film crew. I might have to hit up the art school down the street, which means you guys need to keep supporting the channel because I'll probably have to pay them. At least I would like to, because, you know, if I make a lot of money on the video, it'd be kind of messed up to, hey guys, come out and do some work for free to help my YouTube channel that I do to make money to pay my bills and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. I'll be checking back to see what you guys have to say. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead, click on that subscribe button and take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. Use your love for Star Wars to help you start training, to improve your life and the lives in your community. Continue to support the channel. Check out more videos. Hit up the store on TeePublic or check out some of the cosplay stuff from my Amazon store. But that's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing and may the force of others be with you always.